The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
After a wild race last week at Talladega Superspeedway, tonight we're back into trucks on a quasi-superspeedway. It's Auto Club Speedway, a 2-mile semi-bank track. It's going to produce a lot of fast speeds and a lot of drafting and a lot of good racing here in Southern California. It's race number 4 of this Superspeedway series here on the Captain Esports Network. I am the Captain. We welcome you in on this Thursday. Getting ready for the weekend to be here, the first weekend of NASCAR. Getting back on track at the Clash at the Coliseum. But tonight we get to do some iRacing here in the trucks here on the Captain Esports Network. So let's sit back and get ready to go racing here for 150 miles, 75 laps in the series. Here's your points right now after 3 races. Stephen Miles with a 4-point lead over Randy Cornwell. Chris Lewis third. Craig Martin, Stephen Melnick, your top 5. Your Daytona winner, Colby Wells, there in 6th. You also have Tim Abrell, who won at Talladega last week. He is 10th there in points. And your other winner, Stoney Benfield, the faster pastor, 16th in points. Coming into this race, straight up 9-race schedule that will pretty much after tonight run backwards, so to say. We head to Atlanta next week and run the Superspeedway there, and then come right back to Auto Club and run in reverse order of what we started the season. So basically, we go from tonight at Auto Club to Atlanta, back to Auto Club, Talladega, Michigan, Daytona is how the schedule will finish out to wrap up this first Superspeedway series here at TI Racing. So we got some good racing to do here throughout. So going to go ahead and put this out there in advance. One thing you will see tonight is a lot bigger of a field. But as they say sometimes, don't judge a book by its cover. Tonight, Lewis set up the race with some AI drivers to potentially be in the field. They were more of the field fillers, if you will. And, well, we've got a pretty good group of humans who are going to be here tonight. So those AI guys are going to be disqualified. You will not see them on track during the race. So just be aware when you see the timing and scoring, you're going to see like 10 or so extra names Just going to put that out there now in advance. So getting ready to go green here. Got qualifying in about 4 minutes or so. Let's do some chatting here with some drivers. The few who are here tonight, ready to go racing at Auto Club Speedway. And let's talk with Kyle Ether. Let's bring Ether up here and talk to him for a minute as they get ready to get started here. Obviously, Kyle, I'm just checking out the messages here in Discord as those have come out. But obviously tonight at Auto Club Speedway, we've already started practice under the lights. Now we're back in the daytime. Going to finish under the lights here at this 2-mile surface. Obviously worn out with the refresh. We expecting the trucks to be everywhere tonight, or are we expecting the bottom? What have you felt so far?
Well, on fresh tires, you could pretty much do anything. But I think as the run goes on, it's going to migrate to the top. That's what I was feeling on that I did like a long run in practice. It felt pretty stable. I feel like in a group, it's going to be loose in the front, tight if you're running in the back of the group, kind of like it was at Michigan. But only one way to find out.
Let's get on the track. So obviously it's been a crazy and hectic season here to get started, obviously with the super speedway style. I know Michigan and Auto Club kind of are not considered super speedways, but they've got that 2-mile shape, and with the draft and things like that, obviously it's been a pretty crazy one so far.
It has. I mean, I don't know if you showed the points, but I think the top and like 12, 13 in points are separated by like 25, 30 points.
Yeah. Not much at all.
It's volatile. I'll say that. These are definitely like super speedway races. In the way that if you're not in the draft, you're just gonna fall back. You have to stay in the draft. That's gonna be one thing, and I know hopefully we get some green flag stops. So that'll be interesting to see how it breaks up and if there's tandems or what happens there.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So we'll see as we get racing there. Best of luck to you, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, bud. That is Kyle Ethier, of course, who is running tonight in that Harvick, old school Harvick paint scheme in the 6 car. So looking forward to seeing what he can do here tonight as we start to get our filled out with drivers and stuff here. It looks like we're going to get a pretty good crowd here when it's all said and done. So looking forward to the race here this evening. Qualifying going to begin momentarily. Let's see who else we can grab while we have a quick minute. And let's talk to Melnick. Bring Melnick up here and talk to him for a second. Of course, Steve. Obviously, Auto Club tonight going to be a wild one. You finished right there with a chance to win on at Michigan 2 weeks ago, and now we're here at Auto Club Speedway tonight. You've been one that's not afraid to put the aggressive moves on. Do you think you can get one better tonight?
Well, I'm hoping that. Been close a few times. I messed up my own race last week. Did something dumb, and I knew it wasn't going to work, and it messed. I took out some people with me. So try to race a little bit smarter tonight, and put it up front. That's the goal. Win for this team. Me or Craig. We talked about it. We want to get this team to the front.
What are you feeling out there on the track right now when it comes to the trucks?
It's very similar to Michigan. You got multiple grooves to start the run. I think as the tires wear off, it's going to force you to go a little bit higher just because the grip's going to go away in the lower lane. So, but we'll see, and the other thing is going to be like aero too. When you get behind somebody, I've only been behind a few people, not like a big pack so far. So we're not really sure, if it's going to be tight, loose once you get all those cars on the track at the same time.
Well, it should be a lot of fun, man. We'll get you ready for qualifying right now. Good luck, and let's see if we talk later.
All right, man. Have a good race.
You too, buddy. Stephen Melnick, of course. Showtime Racing. Him and Craig. For some reason. Oh, that's why. My cord is stuck. I was like, why can't I move him? Let's get him down to chat. There we go. And qualifying should be beginning here any minute. As you see the cars out there on track running laps. Matter of fact, qualifying is underway as we're getting the cars out there run their laps as we speak. Let's grab some trucks. Let's see, Randy Cornwell's already out there. See Ryan Whitaker out there already. So let's start with Ryan as he's in that Kevin Whitaker Chevrolet number 51. Should be easily a throwaway lap on lap 1. And then lap 2 will be the fast lap around the track. Let's see if that ends up being the case here. As Whitaker 40-42. That's Dalton Wilson with the 40-16 up top there. AJ Roper in P2 right now, Cornwell. And there's Kyle Ether with a 40-13 going to the top. Lemon Downey, 4109. Whitaker holding a pretty wheel down there on that bottom. Pretty good apex out of the corner. Tries to shorten up as much as he can to get it back to the bottom of the track as he crosses the line. And P3, 40-20 for Whitaker. Now Cornwell jumping to the top as a lot of cars going to cross the line here pretty quickly here. Let's check out David Stringle. In the 28 car, the tax is theft paint scheme. A whole lot of different things on that truck. Dave is not afraid to share his thoughts and his feelings about things on his truck. Got a purple lap right now going as he comes to the start-finish line. Stringle to the top, 40. Flat with a 34. Lewis to P7, Vanovsky to P8. Derek Rice, who is apparently changing. He's going through an alter ego, I think, here. He's changing his name in Discord and his numbers and a whole bunch of different stuff. I don't know what's going on. Well, let's see what Derek can do in this Toyota 00. As he will come to the start-finish line and qualify fourth, 40-13 with a 7. Ethier with a 4 at the top. They're in third. As Stephen Miles out on track now, too. Let's see what he's up to in the 7 truck. Eurykio out there. Nick Leo's out there. As we still got about 50 seconds left. So pretty much if you're on track now, you should be able to get a lap in as Eurykio goes 10th with a 40-18. Miles crossing the line, and he goes to 7th with a 40-15. He got a little tight off 4. I wonder if that hurt him. And then Nick Leo, 40.17. That leaves Eurykio as the only truck left that's on track that's going to qualify here. Josh Parent, by the way, jumped up to 2nd with a 40-84, so good lap for him. And Eurykio, 40-85, goes P3, so good job, David Stringle. He will get the pole here tonight as we step away for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
All right, back with you as we get ready to start the 75-lap, 150-mile race here at Auto Club Speedway, the Super Speedway series for the trucks. As David Stringle, the 28 car, going to win the pole, or truck, I should say, 40.034 second lap. Josh Parrott's going to start there on the outside in the 28. Row 2, Nick Uricchio, good start for him there in the third position. Randy Cornwell on his outside. Kyle Ethier and Derek Rice, they'll take row number 3 with Dominic Russo, Stephen Miles in row 4. AJ Roper, Nick Leo in row 5. Thankfully, no Bartholomew. An interesting name. Row 6, Dalton Wilson, Chris Lewis. 5 in the triple ones there in row number 6. Row 7, Jake Vodowski, Ryan Whitaker. David Fite, Craig Martin there in row 8. Stephen Melnick and Clement Downing. Drayton Cook, Colby Wells, Christopher Dean will be the 21st and final starter. The names from 22nd on down are the AI names I talked about. Steve Melnick Jr. This is Lewis's names, by the way, he's come up with. BYM, BIM, I don't know. Vitaly's a cat, apparently. So is Xena, who I think was a dog, Ehlers. Robbie Otti's actually a driver. Jingles, Mimsy, all these. Vyacheslav Kozlov, I believe that's a friend of Lewis's. And at Maximus, those are all AI drivers who will not start this race. I don't know why. The lack of creativity in Lewis's name. We'll go in Lewis's naming today. We'll call it that. So, but either way. Here's the track information. 2 miles, 65 degrees right now. Obviously, we have the 8X because of the lights here at the track. 65% humidity, 75 laps, 50% fuel. As we get ready to go racing here in Southern California. Pace car pulls off, puts him in the hands of David Stringle and Josh Parrott, leading them to the green flag. Round 4 of this truck Super Speedway Series sees the green. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As Stringle with a rough start to the race, he falls all the way back to 4th. As Josh Parrott, Randy Cornwell go to the front of the field here. You should see a lot of draft at this track, especially as it gets cooler into this race because of the lack of grip here. But Parrott leads lap 1. Oh, and somebody's spinning. It is AJ Roper in the 71. Bringing out the caution. Another truck out there in the grass. Once my paints, for some reason, they're trying to reload themselves here. Looks like Jake Vodowski is out there. Yeah, it's Vodowski in the grass. All right, so let's see what happened here with the caution. Oh, and Whitaker and Roper came together. I think Roper came up into Whitaker there. And Vodowski just nowhere to go with a T-bone steak. It's one of those things at this track, it's very tricky to do when you're 2 and 3 wide. You do not have a spotter outside of what you have in iRacing unless you have an app that will tell you how close you are to another truck when you're 3 wide on a very wide straightaway. So if you're not knowing that the 51 is in the middle there, you're going to come up the track to try to apex into the corner, and you're going to get hooked. As you see, look at the 71's down near the apron, the 51's second lane, and you got whoever that blue truck is was down 2 lanes down, so that kind of backfired a little bit. All right, so caution out for the first time. And we'll see if some trucks come to pit road. They will. And give me 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, so parent leading. Let's let me dial up Stringle. I know he's in here. I think he's in here. He's usually in here. He's not in here. Is he over in the TI regular chat? He is not there. Alright, so Stringle's not in chat, so we won't talk to him. That's unfortunate. We will talk to Randy Cornwell here for a second. You got a copy?
What's up, buddy?
Hey man, you I've been told you like this track a lot.
This is probably my favorite track on here.
What makes it your favorite?
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at the tire wear that happens here, and I can run pretty consistent the whole race. I don't have any flyer laps, but consistent.
That's sometimes the way you get around here. Now, obviously, with the way that this time and weather's all set up, obviously that's going to play tricks here because we're going to get into the later into the race when it gets dark. Grip's going to come up. So do you find yourself racing this track different in the daylight?
I run a different line probably in the daylight than I will if it gets darker.
I'll have to keep an eye on this. So, all right, man. Well, you're P2 there next to Parent, so best of luck, bud.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Randy Cornwell, who is restarting second. Get him to the right channel. You with Nick?
That's fine. Anywhere, general's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's where he was. So, I was trying to remember what channel he was. All right, going to restart here at lap number 5. Shout out to the viewers watching here. Appreciate those who join us each and every night as we have gotten ourselves now into the heaviness of the season, as pretty much from this point forward you are seeing 5 out of 7 nights of broadcasting here on the Captain Esports Network. Not to mention the podcast, and who knows, might do some other stuff sometimes in the near future, maybe some just random streams of official or hosted races or whatever, and so on and so forth. So best way to find out, subscribe to the channel, get notifications, and be ready, because you never know when the captain will go on the air. So we're back to racing. Well, the one thing I can clarify, Tuesday through Saturday, you will not see me anytime before like 4 o'clock Eastern time. So Parent Cornwell there on the bottom side as they go back racing through turn 2. Kind of spread out this time around. The draft obviously very powerful in these trucks. Almost wide open, I think, here to get started, and then eventually you will see handling come into play, but the draft's still going to play a pretty strong pull. You see Russo getting loose there off of turn 4. In our cameras tonight, presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Also at TrackCams4 Gourmet, as mentioned, to Facebook, the iRacing forums and stuff. So going around the lap truck there, I think that is Roper they were going around in the 71 there, red and black truck. Otherwise, Cornwell and Parent still side by side for the lead. Eureka there, he's side by side with Miles. And then Derek Rice back there, that red, white, and yellow truck with Stringle. Nick Leo there in that Jewel truck. This is where you can see this track spread out, especially as the tires wear in a little bit. You're going to see trucks all the way from the bottom to the top. And I think the higher you go, the more wide open you'll probably be able to carry the speeds. We did have some trucks come to pit road either getting damage fixed or topping off the fuel. Looks like all but about 5 or 6 trucks came in to do that. So that's obviously going to play strategy here with 50% fuel. Usually can go about 40 laps on a tank here at Auto Club. So you should be seeing right about 20 laps a run, close to it. Obviously, tire wear I think is going to play a lot bigger of a factor in this race than you'll see any other time during the truck season because of the worn out surface here at Auto Club. Got a train of about 10 trucks lined up. We ride with Leo in the Jewel number 69 truck. Oh, he gets, oh, Derek gets up in the parent. Good save by Josh. Nick had to check up. That opens the door 3 wide. That's Miles on the bottom. I'm sure Parent probably had something to say about that. Now's where you got to be careful. Getting doored once, getting doored twice. They 4 wide? Yeah, they sure are. Look at that. 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. Oh, and there they go. Leo into the wall with Parent. And caution out for the second time. Derek Rice up in smoke. Heavy damage for the 069 truck. Whoever Spanky Jr. is on YouTube, good call on that one. Said that the Jewel car gonna wreck hard. Let's see what brings this out. I mean, they were 4 wide down the whole entire front straightaway here. Bang, door bang 1, door bang 2. I mean, they're almost 5 wide here. I didn't even see Ether on the bottom there. Going to the corner and just bam, T-bone there. Who's that Valvoline truck? I think that's Dalton Wilson. Going to see some damage on that truck. The aggressiveness here. David Stringle seeing an eye on this. Unfortunately, Rice is too close to the 069, and wow, shades of is that Keselowski in the Navy car back for Dale Jr. there with Parent. As caution out for the second time. Look at this again. Wow. Is that Dean that got the other part of the damage? I don't see another truck damage. Somebody got a piece of the trucks as they came down the track. I'll try with Dean here. Now they cleared Dean. Might have been David Fight, I think might be the other truck involved. Sure is. Yep, that's who it was. The David Fight getting the other part of the damage there. All right, so pit stops happening there. A little cycle of trucks coming through. And Stephen Melnick now going to be the leader of this race, as it looks like pretty much everybody is. And now Melnick's coming in. He and AJ Roper are the only two not to come to pit road. But everybody else in for, looks like, fuel only at that point. A little bit of a rough and rocky start here at Auto Club. The aggressiveness has come out. And look who's up front now. course, tomorrow night, Miles and a few others. I think Kyle Ethier, Dean, Lewis will be at the All-American Cup Series. In their race tomorrow night at Daytona. At 8:15 we'll go live. They're actually running a practice race right now, I think. And of course, tomorrow night, actually, believe it or not, going to have a sponsor for that race. Leaf Guard of Vermont 200, Steve Ritter, who is known from the Sim 500 League and, of course, now running over here. Going to sponsor the race tomorrow night. So get ready for the Leaf Guard of Vermont 200 at Daytona tomorrow night. Looking forward to the opener there for Season 7 as Miles and Cornwell lead him to the green. Eurykio, and then Lewis there in that blue truck that matches Eurykio's paint. Dueling blue trucks. The difference is the numbers on the truck. That's pretty much your color difference there. So it looks like two trucks behind the wall now, Parent and Rice. Otherwise, everybody's still on track. Hopefully getting damage fixes. Into the wall goes the 51 as Dom goes spinning. And we got a third caution. Dominic Russo going for a spin. Rough start to this race. Unfortunately, I think Tuesday's rubbing off. Trucks are getting loose, or what the deal is there? Russo just goes for looks like a 540 there. Yeah, he was getting loose, and then Martin finished him off. And then let's move ahead here just a couple of seconds and see where Whitaker. Did he just get loose on the bottom there? Must have, because he pushed up and tail slapped the wall there, so that was interesting. As caution again comes out right there for the third time. So trying to figure this out. Trying to do some thinking here for a second. Literally ad-libbing on the air here as we speak. All right, let's bring Lewis up here. As we have the third caution out here on track, and Lewis, open your mic up.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Running third there in a truck that matches Eureka. It was a good creative idea there. So, obviously, a little bit of a rough start here so far, but the pit strategy is already coming into play.
It is. It's I thought about pitting there and taking 4 freshies, but I didn't. I don't know if I'll regret that later or not.
So, more importantly, are your cats disappointed they could not race tonight?
They are very upset. Mimsy's over here in the corner crying. Max is crying. Jingles is asleep. It's just a disaster.
Slightly. It's like they feel like this track was taken away from them.
It
was in real life. But anyways, all right, well, hopefully this will get cleaned up here. We're already 20 laps in coming up, and obviously the team tomorrow night, I was just talking about it a little bit. Getting ready to go back racing at All-American tomorrow night. You guys ready for that?
I am. We're still looking for our first ever team win in All-American, so I'm hoping this is the season. I'm excited. Miles is excited. Ethier's excited. They got some really good tracks, really good schedule, really good competition. So this should be a good season. There's going to be something to see.
Yeah, because normally there's like 50 cars at Daytona to start, so you got to make the show first. just put that out there. So, hey, best of luck, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Buddy. As Lewis running right now in P3. As we'll come back to the green. We get another caution. I might actually jump over to that chat, to the All-American chat. Again, they got their practice race going on right now, and maybe say hi to Carrington to see what's going on and how he feels about tomorrow night's race. I know they've been doing some experimenting. Last week, their Clash race, they dropped the back end down. Looked like a lowrider in the rear to try to experiment to get the car to be able to push a little bit. And we'll see what kind of differences they've made in that. But right now, going to come back to the green here, lap number 18, as Miles, Eurykio, Cornwell, Lewis, and Kyle Ethier, your top 5. You see Colby Wells making moves to the top side, trying to sweep around Cornwell as he drives it back to the middle now, 3 wide. Wells being very aggressive in that 45 truck right now. And I've just realized that Eurykio's running a Preparation H truck. Oh, that's a pain in the tail paint to run. Trucks moving around everywhere, just trying to find open space to get the momentum into these corners or coming out of the corners. It's what this track allows. It's one of the many reasons I continue to wonder why, or what, I should say, NASCAR's thinking with putting the track up for sale. Is it one of those things where they had to have the money, or did they get an offer they couldn't resist, or what the deal is? But of course, we saw the photos of the track on social media recently, and pretty much for about right there where they're at now to turn 1 is all that's left of the track. As the aggressiveness picking up again, 3 wide. Oh, Lewis and Cornwell about met again. Lewis got out of the gas. He's had a lot of issues with Cornwell, so that's probably a good move on his part. As he's going to lose about 6 spots. Oh, and more contact. I think Whitaker actually might have tires. I got to check on this because he pitted at that caution there. Or I'm sorry, at the last caution. It was on pit road 17 seconds, so there could be 4 fresh tires on that 51. Boy, the aggressiveness. I think anytime you get into a series that has the word super speedway in it, it's like the level gets turned up a notch. So Wells from the back to the front, started 20th, up to the lead. And Miles, a little blip of the throttle there through 1 and 2. You see the sun already starting to work its way back in. Let's check the weather and see where we're at right now. We're at 3:30 on February 1st, so I've seen early sunset. 71 track temp, that's going to go down. This grip's just going to go up. And you're going to see even more draft go into play. So I would say another probably 20 minutes of this race in real time, and it'll be dark. So Whitaker up to second, Cornwell up to third. Dalton Wilson, who was in that wreck a little bit ago in turn 1 and 2. He is back up to fourth, got his damage fixed. It looks like Ethier there in fifth, and that good wrench number 6. That you can call it a Kevin Hart. Oh, the blue trucks are in the wall. Lewis and Eurykio. Whatever the cat is on the right side of that truck, that one's not happy now. That's crumpled up nose or something there. So appreciate the viewers watching here. If you've stepped in to check us out this evening, if you're new to chat, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new to chat, you can, of course, come back as always. Appreciate you joining us. As Mac McMillan joining in chat. By the way, I did see your message. I got to respond back to you, buddy. I think Mac's cheering on Miles is what he's doing here. He knows Miles for running Sunday nights. Of course, not seeing who has tires here, potentially who doesn't. I'm wondering if Wells and maybe Whitaker took tires because they were on pit road for about 15 to 20 seconds both times. Wilson obviously getting damage fixed might have tires, so that could be what's separating right now those 3 trucks from the rest of the field here. You see them kind of driving away. But the good news is with that 50% fuel that's in this truck, you're going to be back on pit road probably in the next 5 to 8 laps. And I think at that point you'll see some of these guys not take tires and the other ones put tires on. We ride with Kyle Ethier in his 6 truck. Head bobbing around. A very bumpy track. Gotta be careful, that wall will grab you. About what we thought would happen. Drivers talked about in the long run, as the tires wore out, the top side would be the way to go. And you see Miles has gone right up against the boards pretty much. For the most part. Got Drayton Cook there behind him with Cornwell. Oh, it into the wall hard. That's Lewis. Well, if he didn't break the nose of the cat on the right side, he just definitely did there off 4. Melnick and others going by. Dean and Eurykio and Craig Martin there in that 55. Yeah, that cat's not a happy camper on the right side. Oh, and look at that. The sun coming out right at the last minute. Hey, by the way, here in Indiana, the sun actually came out for the first time, I think, this year today. Temps got up to like 50. It felt like summer. And more trucks scrubbing the wall now. This truck getting tight. I think that's a product of running that bottom side. And look at Dalton Wilson. Involved in a wreck just a little bit ago, and now has pounced back to the front. He might be more trying to help his teammate there get away from Whitaker. And now he's in the wall. I guess I can't compliment anybody. That's brought Miles and those guys back into the picture. Miles, a pretty good tire saver. These guys might have went out there and burned their stuff up, and now Miles has put the fishing pole out and started reeling them in with Drayton Cook there behind him. And all of a sudden, just saw a very weird issue happen. It looked like a lot of trucks just started blinking or something, or maybe I had an issue, but did Colby Wells come back? Either way, here comes the 7 to pit road, and Colby Wells is gone. So Miles is on pit road. I thought I saw Cornwell blink out too, so that was a weird issue. As 7 in for 4 tires and fuel, you would think here. Yep, there's that truck lifting up. Hands the lead to Ryan Whitaker. Jacoby Wells going out, unfortunately on top. From back to front, and all of a sudden blinks out. Now Kyle Ethier, Dalton Wilson. As they will come in for either tires and fuel or something close to it. Let's see if the right side of the truck lifts up. It does not. Fuel only for the 5 as the 6 overshoots. As Ryan Whitaker, Drayton Cook, Randy Cornwell coming in lap 33. As we're just coming up on the halfway point here very shortly. I'm a little confused right now because... Well, then again, no, I think Wells is disconnected because he made it 30.7 laps. But then I see Parent's gone 11.11, so it's almost like he blinked out at about the 3/4 mark of the track, and he's gone ever since. As Russo comes in, along with Vinosky. I thought for a second maybe he was still sitting on track over there, but that's what happens when you just don't look in depth too much. And for those interested, by the way, watching in chat, we share this with you as always. That is the link to my timing and scoring. If you would like to add that to a screen or whatever while you're watching the race and get the telemetry that the drivers are getting off of my stuff. I have an enormous amount of telemetry. Yeah, that is very correct. The best part is you can actually edit that whole entire thing to your own liking, by the way. As here comes the tax mobile, apparently. I mean, I have always learned when you pay taxes that you pay they take the money from you and you get it back, but the difference is they get like a 12%, what's the word I'm looking for? Interest rate or something like that. Not that I'm getting into that kind of talk right now, but just putting it out there. So Stringle, Dean Martin, and Melnick on pit road is... Hey, I'm just going off the numbers, okay? We all know, and this is from me racing a lot, on iRacing, you know you can go about 40 to 42 laps in a truck here. You split the half with 50% fuel, you get 20. So we went green at 12, so 20 to 12 at 32. Bada bing. There you go. Simple math. And that is one blinding sun right there going into turn 3. So Dalton Wilson leads, Ryan Whitaker second, Drayton Cook, Stephen Miles. Your top 4 now. Stringle in 5th as he gets up to speed here. And it looks like only one truck out of the bunch took tires, and that is Stephen Miles here. So look for him to Linda Ronstadt here in a second and blew by you to these 3. Unless he decides to just kind of sit back and save tires here for a second. Stringle there did not take tires, but Kyle Ether 15.6. I'm assuming he's on tires. The 6th truck back there. And Randy Cornwell maybe with 2 tires. 12.0 second stop on the 22. He is back here. course, there goes Miles with those fresh tires to the bottom. So say for those, all these interested, you can check out the podcast, the Scalicast. Episode 4 is officially available now in Spotify and also on iHeartMedia, and then, of course, in all the Discord pages of the leagues that we broadcast for. So make sure you check out the Scalicast Episode 4. Featuring Casey Carrington previewing tomorrow night's All-American season debut. So Miles pretty much is walking away now with the fresh tires as these others falling back, as here comes Ethier now, the second truck with fresh tires to the bottom. Lights are going to come on. Of course, when the lights come on, one of my favorite old school hip hop songs comes to my head. The Freaks Come Out at Night, a little Houdini. Stringle going past Drayton Cook and almost pulls a slider there on Cornwell. Had to get out of that real quick and almost had some trouble there. Let's see who else we got running where on the track. Christopher Dean back here in the 8th position. There is he in the Lowe's number 48. Dominic Russo went for a little spinneroonie in turn 4 a little bit ago. He is in the 9th position now. Craig Martin in the 55 truck running in 10th. Lewis, who is hit the wall a few times tonight. He's in that 111 truck in 11th, and seems like his tag team partner tonight, Nick Uricchio, in 12th. The one is Stephen Melnick there, 13th. AJ Roper hanging strong after being involved in that first wreck. He is 14th right now. Clement Downing running 15th, the Aussie there. I think it's only like 7 a.m. or something like that over there right now. David Fite running in the 16th position. Involved, all these guys pretty much involved in accidents earlier. Nick Leo 17th, Jake Vanowski in 18th. As we go back to the front, these guys continuing to fight here. As Whitaker and Dalton Wilson and David Stringle. Getting out of it a little bit there. Here comes Stringle with that momentum. Almost doored Whitaker there. Uncle Sam almost poked him with his finger. So Stringle making the pass as we pass halfway here. 42 laps in the books. 3 cautions early, but now we have made it to halfway, and we have a new leader. Kyle Ethier has gone by Stephen Miles. Let's see how this pass happened. Ethier just hawked down that 7. And made the pass. Ethier running tires, and the rims were actually borrowed from Barbie's Corvette. As we got trucks back on pit road. And this is early. Lap 42. Only 10 laps into the run here is Whitaker, Wilson, and Cook on pit road. This is a strategy for the PTP guys. I mean, they're still going to have to pit one more time, so I'm a little baffled by that move. So Dean's also come in now onto pit road here. So different strategy. And now Miles back to the front past Ethier. know if this is like a planned truck swap or what the deal is here. But I would expect these guys to be back on pit road in about 7 to 10. They pitted at 31 and 32 respectively, so I would say probably 5 laps or so. Go fifth. Well, no, let me take that back here because they're going to want to get to fifth. Oh, caution. Never mind. Forget it all. As somebody's gone around. It is Dalton Wilson in the 5 who has spun it off turn 4. And that early pit strategy by the guys who just came to pit road just bit him in the tail. Right there, about the second groove up. Back ends is going to swap ends. Almost takes out his teammate there. That would have been bad. Self spin here by the 5, bringing out caution 4. He probably had colder tires too. That probably didn't help him here. All right, so that's going to bring the leaders to pit road here. And the interesting part here is, as I've said 100,000 times, and I will continue to beat this like a dead horse, you could put electric cars on these 2-mile tracks like Michigan and Auto Club, and they will still be a fuel mileage race somehow. Just because it's the way it goes on 2-mile tracks, and here we are, right outside the pit window to make it all the way to the finish on fuel, and the leaders are in. Four tires and fuel for them all. Roper overshooting his pit stall a little bit there. Race off pit road. Looks like Russo. Edging out Miles. Well, Miles going to get the advantage, it looks like. They gave it to Miles there. So Miles going to be the leader. Russo, Ethier, Martin, Cornwall, Stringle, as it looks like Russo went fuel only or 2 tires. Everybody else up front, 4 tires and fuel. All right, so a lot of racing still to go here on the truck side of things. Thursday night next week, it's the Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we continue the Super Speedway side of things here on the Gen 4 side, Tuesday night next week, we head to the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. So it's an Atlanta week with old and new Atlanta for both cars. I think that old Atlanta is going to put on a show for those Gen 4 cars. As you'll probably see cars from the bottom to the top. And in the new Atlanta, you'll see the same thing with the trucks, except in a draft. And we look forward to you guys joining us for that about 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that range. We'll go on the air and have the race here for you. But pretty much Saturday night, the only night between now and Wednesday, you will not see a broadcast on the air for racing. right, going to bring it back to the green here. As Miles does that, I think this is going to be a great opportunity to go green. I'm going to quiet my mic down, let you guys turn the audio up as we turn it up for the restart. Fast laps being turned right now up front. David Stringle, 39.77, just now running the fastest lap in that green, number 28 truck. As you see now, the draft really starting to bring them together with the fresher tires. Russo's falling back to the 8th position as you watch the battle with Craig Martin and Stringle for 4th. Cornwell up to 3rd with Ethier 2nd right now. Miles and Ethier are pretty much up front for most of the event here. Of course, Cornwell's had his share up front. Stringle has 2. Eurykio's been up there. He's up to 6th. I say that as now Melnick goes to the bottom. Steven been kind of hanging back a little bit, letting this race come to him, and now the night lights have come on. And the Connecticut-born driver lives in Georgia now, up to the 6th position. Those cars or trucks that came to pit road did take the wave around and stuff. So Drayton Cook and those guys back on the lead lap now. So we have, from my understanding here, I see 17 trucks on the lead lap right now. As Cornwell's under attack, here comes the 55 of Martin. Speeds up to about 180 miles an hour in the draft with these trucks. Probably pretty close to wide open now with the lights on and the grip at its max. As here comes Ethier for the lead. Cornwell said earlier when we talked to him, he thought the lines were going to change as the race progressed. And now you see him up there about 4 lanes up. And he's got himself a pretty good run here. He's going to get the outside on Miles here for 2nd. Cornwell's got a run here. He's going to take 2nd from Miles. Might. I was wondering if he was going to have to drop down on Ethier here, but should. Get to his back bumper here. Let's see if he can get the run through 3 and 4. He's running about the lane that before the refresh came out was really the way to get around Auto Club for a little bit, was that fourth groove up. I know when I was running the open wheel cars here for a little bit, it seemed like my most comfortable in that car was right about where Cornwell's running. And Miles, I think, is backing out of it here a little bit to save some tires. Still, we've got 19 laps. However, you also got the fuel mileage. Let's look into that issue. As you see Dalton Wilson in the wall, how much fuel do you have to get to the finish? Do you have enough? And if not, leading obviously is not the spot you want to be. That's why Miles, I think, has gotten back here in the 5th position now. I think he's going to save some fuel in the draft here. So Ether might be the rabbit right now that everyone's chasing. I say that as Cornwell's going to go to the front. Two good friends there, Cornwell and Ethier. Teammates on Tuesdays, not on Thursdays, I believe. Again, thank you to those watching on the broadcast tonight. Again, if you get a chance, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. If you are new to the chat, one of the cool parts about a new season is obviously you get the new viewers and stuff that come in and hit subscribe and join you throughout the weeks. Looking forward to see what newcomers we get tomorrow night to join us. One thing I should bring up here as I'm watching these guys run, we all know, and if you don't know, I should say, if you did not know this stat, the tracks that are measured, how they are measured, like you wonder how Auto Club is known as a 2-mile track. Well, it's known as a 2-mile track from NASCAR standards, and NASCAR measures the center of the track. So basically, where Miles is running right now, through the corners, that groove would be where the track is measured at Auto Club Speedway. So, thinking about it, if you run against that white line all the way around the track, you are running less than 2 miles. If you go up to the top side, you are running more than 2 miles around the track, right? So, an underestimated way to save fuel, run the bottom the whole way around. You are traveling the least amount of miles around the track. As you see Miles is down there. You see Ethier, how they're kind of cutting the track almost in half. Look at the groove they're running down the backstretch here. About the center. As Melnick, Whitaker, and Drayton Cook, by the way, on pit road. They're going to go ahead and say, you know what, we're not making it on fuel. We're going to top it off. So it should be splash and goes for those guys. I see Melnick taking tires, actually. Those guys launch. Here comes Kyle Ethier. He's going to say, you know what? I ain't going to make it. I'm pitting. Oh, no, that's not how you do it. Oh, but that's really not what you do. These guys this week with pit road. That looks like a simple downshift. Did that. Let's, sorry, Kyle, I'm going to embarrass you for a second, buddy. But we're going to get a replay of this one. He's already gone around here. Let's back it up manually here. Hate doing it this way, but we're going to do it that way. Martin, Stringle, and Miles all coming to pit road here, so a lot of them saying, you know what, we're not going to make it. You know, when your truck just snaps like that, that is either a downshift issue or too much brake brings the rear end around. Could be a wheel hop. We'll see that too. Let's go on board with the 6 and just listen. That'll tell us everything. Downshift and then brakes. Yeah, so I think it's probably the braking actually more than anything. All right, Stringle, Cornwell, Miles, Martin, Leo all on pit road. Who is trying to save fuel to the finish? It would not be a 2-mile race if we didn't have to save fuel. Dean on pit road now. That leaves A.J. Roper and Clement Downing, David Fite, Chris Lewis, the 5 trucks who have not come to pit road yet. Here's the one thing that makes it very tough for these trucks to save fuel. One, you have a lot of gas time here. You're on the gas a lot through the corners and even on the straightaways. But 2, there is not a lot of drag on, there's a lot of drag on these trucks. And that drag causes you, if you lift the throttle, it takes speed away really quickly and you lose your momentum. So there's really not a lot of options to save, where the Gen 4 car, for instance, you can roll through the corner almost the whole entire way and save fuel. There's little tricks in that car, but this truck, I mean, you let off the gas, it's almost like a parachute comes out. So you got to be able to carry the momentum and pace yourself. So I'm pretty sure that everybody here is not going to be able to make it, but there is one truck I am going to keep an eye on, and it's not Clement Downing, by the way. I mean, Clement could do something. We'll have to see. He's got plenty of room on the trucks in front of him right now. Here's Clement right here off turn. Never mind, he's coming to pit road here. This guy right here is the one I'm watching. But he's got Cornwell and these guys behind him. And Nick Uricchio pitted at 59. And leads this race now with 10 laps to go. He's going to have to go. See, 59 from 75. He's good to go to the finish. However, he's got 2 tires, so does Cornwell. Stephen Miles behind him is coming with 4 tires, likely. As Cornwell goes to the front. Of course, the yellow can change anything here. So just from my evaluation here, and obviously I didn't get to watch all the pit stops live, but Cornwell looks like he's on 2 tires. It looks like Uricchio maybe he's on 2 or none. Stephen Miles took 4. Melnick with 4. Stringle with either 2 or none, probably 2. Cook with 2. Martin Whitaker, a lot of these guys with 2 tires all the way down to Dalton Wilson. So if I see this correctly, this is going to be Miles versus Melnick, likely for the win, as Miles pretty much battling for it now. That red and white truck is Stephen Melnick. There you see them now, nose to tail. Miles might be playing this patiently, just trying to save tire for these last 8 laps of the race, where Melnick might be letting it rip. Oh, no, Melnick about ran over Miles. And how he kept it out of the wall is even a bigger question. I mean, that looked like it was about to be bad. Oh, no! Uricchio into the wall. And that's going to bring the caution out to change everything. Like Scoop, we're going to have a restart. Back up a little bit more here. Unfortunately, it didn't give me anybody crashing, so I have to click the yellow flag button and it starts instantly. Uricchio gets a little loose on the bottom here, and then he starts coming back up the track. And he and Melnick, a little net code there, but probably going to touch, maybe. And there's the curse of the green truck coming into play. There is Stringle, nowhere to go. Going to go down there and door Cook. So who's got what left? If you got a set of tires left, here's where you use them. Stringles in, Eurykio, obviously they're going to get damage fixed. Roper, Lewis, Dean, and Leo. Clement Downing's going to get the lucky dog and be back on the lead lap. And we should get the green with 4 laps to go. All right, so we'll get one to go this time by Cornwell, as mentioned, with 2 tires from that stop. Miles with 4, Melnick with 4. Not sure how much damage that one's going to have after that accident. Drayton Cook, I believe, has 2 tires, also him. Craig Martin, Whitaker. A lot of those guys either no tires or 2 tires, just depending on their pit times. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me if it's 2 or none. Only thing I can tell you is when somebody takes 4, because usually it's about 14 to 15 seconds. So I can tell you right now, Dean with 4 tires, Fight with 4 tires, Wilson maybe with 4, Stringle with 4, and damage getting fixed. I don't know. This might be a restart to watch here in a minute with that blue and gray 48 truck. Appreciate the viewers who have checked this out here tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the racing and the broadcast. As we get ready for the restart here, will we get back to the finish? Will we have overtime? We'll find out right now as Cornwell is on it. Here we go. Watch for the 48 car top side. Let's see what he does next on the bottom. I was expecting him to maybe make the run towards the top here. So he gets to the bottom there. Going to try to get the momentum as Miles goes to the front with the 4 tires. He is going to try to run away as Melnick is stuck in the middle and going backwards. Dominic Russo on the top side. Kyle Ethier making a move now. Oh, and Melnick's sitting in the wall hard. He has kept it straight somehow. That thing was all but sideways. And we stay green. Not seen the tire advantage yet here. I'm waiting for it. As Ethier to the bottom on Drayton as they're starting to stack up 2 and 3 wide. As Miles trying to get the lead and trying to clear Cornwell. He's clear if he comes up the track. Got him. And here comes Dean to the bottom. Oh, Dom Russo loose. He saved it. As they bring him off turn 4, white flag, final lap. Miles with 0.2 of a second on Cornwell as Dean clears for third. Miles playing the snake, trying to break the draft. AJ Roper with tires up to fifth. Through turn number 4, Stephen Miles, the champion of the Truck Series, bringing it to the checkered flag in a victory at Auto Club Speedway. As Cornwell, Dean, Roper, Ethier, going to be your top 5. And for Miles, he becomes the 4th winner in 4 races this season. Colby Wells, Stoney Benfield, Tim Abrell, and now Miles checking the box off in getting the win here. And he'll obviously spread that point lead out just a little bit. Shout out to the Sim Racer Hub website here. Should be any minute here. I should be able to get this thing loaded in. How quick this is with the points now. Not quite there yet, but Miles obviously scoring himself a win as he'll tow back and go to victory lane. And let's take a look at the final results here. As Miles wins it by 0.2 over Cornwell, a big-time run from Dean there at the end, up to third. Roper and Ethier, your top 5, with Craig Martin 6th, Drayton Cook. Chris Lewis finishing 8th, with Ryan Whitaker and Dom Russo, your top 10. David Stringle, David Fight, Dalton Wilson, Nick Leo, Clement Downing with a 15th. Nick Uricchio and Steve Melnick finishing the first truck a lap down in 17th. And the rest of the results, Bonoski, Rice, Wells, Parent, your 21 finishers. The rest of the guys on the bottom are all AI guys that, yeah, anyways. A great job by Stephen Miles, who will celebrate and climb out of his truck in victory lane here. We'll bring him up here and celebrate as what a crazy race there at the end. I was wondering how many restarts we might have, and of course you had your buddy Dean there behind you with tires coming, a Roper and those guys, and able to take advantage of your tires and get around Cornwell to win this race.
Yeah, I don't know if he took tires or not on that green flag pit stop, that last one at the end, but I mean, we basically did the same strategy I would any Auto Club of Michigan Racing, just short pit, trying to see if I could get some clean air or build a gap on them so they won't get my draft or whatever like that. But we ended up coming all back together. So I just decided to drop back to third or second there and just ride and save just in case we had a caution. And when we did, I mean, I didn't know who had tires or not. I just know I didn't. And there at the end, I was just gonna burn the right rear off of it.
Obviously, out of all the tracks, I think the 5 tracks that we're going to run this season, this is probably the one that I think least will run like a super speedway with the way the worn out surface and stuff is. But still didn't mean we didn't have some wild 3 and 4 wide racing.
Yeah, I think there towards the end, we was 3 wide, 4 wide, and I was just standing on the bottom. Really, I don't know. I just like the bottom here. I feel like the top is good, but if you could just save and ride that bottom lane, you'll be good towards the end. And I seen it all happen in my rearview mirror, man. I was just happy that I wasn't in that position because I was really thinking about just letting them go by and just be patient still. But I don't know. It been Randy was up there, so I wanted to be competitive with him and make it a close finish there.
And you guys obviously did that. How close were you guys fuel wise in that last run? Just curious.
Last run when the caution came out, I think I was 10, so I probably had 5 laps to go. So if I could have probably did one green white checker or something like that, but I mean when I pitted with like 12 to go. So yeah, I had at least 5 to the good
So about
plus caution laps.
okay. I was just kind of curious there because I was wondering if you guys could make it to the finish before you made that pit stop. And you guys all came in. I was like, all right, they must have been shorter than I thought. Well, hey, great job, congratulations, and shout outs whoever you like.
Appreciate you, man. One of the top broadcasters out there, man, and you do a heck of a job and running one of the up and coming podcasts out there. Y'all should go check that out. Scholarcast, it airs every Tuesday. Thank the drivers in this league, man. It was a big field today, and it was real competitive out there, and it was some close racing and respectable racing. And thank my teammates. Thank my girlfriend. Thank God, and that'll be it.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on another TI win as you add on to the team high in the career of Stephen Miles.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. As Miles gets the win, and we're going to continue to beg him to run Sebring this weekend. He is. He's one that we've just gotten him used to getting on the road courses, and he is not, I think, a fan of that track. Oh, man. Great job on his part, though. All right, let's, speaking of Georgia drivers here, Miles with the first and Cornwell with the second. So the Southwest Atlanta side looking pretty good right now with the 1-2 finish. So Cornwell, obviously, it's a little bit short there. Obviously, I guess it's safe to say the tires were the difference there.
Yeah, he said he didn't have them, but I ain't buying. I didn't want to see the caution. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
I think I had it in the bag without the caution. I don't think anybody was gonna go to the bottom. I told you the grooves would change, or you told me, and I kind of didn't tell you what I was gonna do, but I did change it. And just it is what it is. It's just I hate late race cautions, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely something you almost at times expect, but it's the way that and fuel mileage races at this track and stuff. But
I do love this place.
I was gonna say it definitely had the wildness tonight. I was just asking Miles, out of the 5 tracks that were running on the schedule, this one obviously more of a hybrid of a super speedway / just worn out surface, so it spreads the field out a little bit. But it did not lack of the wild racing at the beginning of the runs.
Yeah, we had some good battles. I had a good time racing. It was pretty clean for where I was at most of the night. And Miles passed me clean. And just hate I didn't take 4 there. I don't know what I could have done different, but
well, hey, you did your part tonight, man. Congratulations, and send some shout outs.
Yeah, man, I appreciate Chris and everybody putting on the league, everybody behind the scenes. Appreciate you putting on the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the show. There was some good racing. There was some wild stuff, like I said, but I love this place. We could run it 12 weeks in a row. I'm good.
I like the way that sounds, man. Great job tonight.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Randy Cornwell finishing in the second position. Congratulations to him. I noticed that Dean has jumped over to Let me see if I can get Dean real quickly here. I think I can't. Do I have the access here? I don't have the access here. Never mind. I was going to try to talk to Dean, but either way, we'll go from there. So, anyway, yeah, I'll try. You know what? Let's do it. Let me jump in here, see if I get Dean. He's just going to run away from me, Dean?
Howdy.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
How's it going?
Third place finish for you.
Yeah. Lucked into it.
It happens. Third's a third, though. Is a third.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Texas lucking into the Final Four.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna come out the gate rank 1 or 2 though, and show everyone why.
Well, the racing obviously out there pretty wild.
Oh yeah, it was all over the place, and I mean, yeah, it was wild. Back and forth day. I mean, I should have finished in the back, but because I messed up and didn't take tires earlier,
Paid off.
it worked out for me at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, well, great job. And hey, send some shout outs. You get to deserve it.
Shout out to my team, Ti, Miles, Chris Lewis, and everybody. Shout out to you for putting this on, and my family and God and everybody.
And shout out to the treehouse where I'm actually talking to these guys at because
Shout
they
out to the
ran
treehouse,
away.
Yeah.
Well, Miles is okay. He cleared already. So nice job, Chris. I'll be back in a minute.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's called jumping discords to talk to people right there to get that done. So anyways, crazy race there and over with tonight as Miles getting the win here. Let me see if I can get the points to load here. I was doing pretty good at it, but I think I was trying to load them too soon. I actually found out that you can load AI points in here too now, which is cool because, as you know, I've done some AI stuff, and I'm going to get back to that soon, and I can actually load the points here instead of having to show them off on the iRacing page. So I can actually put like bonuses and stuff in there, which I wasn't able to do before. So it's just cool. So 11 leaders, 18 lead changes, 5 cautions in the race. Miles led the most laps with 27. And as we click over to the point standings in the race, it's Miles by 6 now over Cornwell. Craig Martin up to 3rd. Kyle Ether up to 4th. Lewis down 1 to 5th. Russo up 1 to 6th. So as we'll get ready for Atlanta coming up next week. So I think there should be a pretty wild one there. Old Atlanta Tuesday, New Atlanta Thursday. So should be a pretty good week there in the ATL. But, of course, we continue our racing tomorrow night with All-American at Daytona. And looking forward to that race tomorrow night. And Carrington is actually, I think, is he... I'm going to mute the chat for just a quick second here real quickly, just so I don't throw him on the air like this. How's the Sebring car there, Carrington?
Are you on air?
Yeah. I saw you guys right here, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I get a little preview of the All-American race by jumping over here after the TI race, and as you're coming up on the hotel corner there. But how are we feeling about tomorrow night?
We did a little final test race and all that earlier, and the setups are real interesting. As last week, you can push real easy. It's I don't know, it's a fun race. I mean, we only had, you know how recruitment races go, Chris. Right. We had 25 in one race and couldn't go more than 2 laps green. Then we had like 6 of us in the second race, and it went green, but we didn't have much of a pack. So I'm looking forward to it. Certainly looking forward to it more than I am the next lap here in this GTP.
I'm just watching you here. You're reminding me what the track looks like. I got to run it this weekend in IMSA. So, all right, man. We'll let you go do that, and we'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
All right, see you, bud.
Chris.
Hello, whoever that was. And I see you've attracted the Camosa Dragon, as I'm already called him.
Hey. Yeah, he's a couple PBRs deep, though. So
look out now. All right.
Street stock in Southern National right now.
Oh, don't do that. Tell her to show up in a minute. All right. So let's go, and you guys have fun.
Yep, you too.
Thanks.
See you.
As yeah, there you go, a little preview of tomorrow night. So looking forward to the All-American Cup Series presented by Harpoon Designs tomorrow night at Daytona. Lewis will be in that race, and I believe Ether, Miles, a whole lot of the TI guys. So should be a fun one tomorrow night at about 8:15 or so. We'll be live. We'll get a little preview and probably talk to the champion last season, Mark Whitley, and so on and so forth. That race actually sponsored by Steve Ritter, and looking forward to seeing him there tomorrow night. Good guy. And doing some great things, of course, with Leaf Guard of Vermont. So we'll look forward to promoting his company and getting them on the air tomorrow night. So we're going to head out, enjoy the rest of your Thursday nights. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for their continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.